This is lonely. I'm used to drinking alone.
Hello BookTube, my name is Sarah.
And I'm Rebecca.
And today we're talking TBRs. December TBRs.
December TBR. Actually, never really attempted to read Christmas novels around Christmas time. I kind of want to try that this year.
I've actually read more, by Christmas novels, I mean something set when it's snowing or something. I've read more of those in the months leading up to Christmas when you can't wait for Christmas to start, so you want to pretend for a little while.
I have 3 Christmas novels and then 2 non, and I'll start with the non. And the first one I actually already started this month, and it's You Can't Touch My Hair by Phoebe Robinson. We listened to her podcast with Jessica Williams while we were driving. Oh.
2 dope queens.
2 dope queens.
If you're ever bored or you just want to try out podcasts or you're looking for a new podcast, fucking 2 dope queens.
And I don't even really listen to podcasts.
I don't either.
But we drove down to Orlando for BookNet Fest a little while back, and then we drove up, and together that was 40 hours, I think, total. So
there was a lot of the time just us in a car, and as fantastic conversationalists that we are, there's a limit.
Yeah.
And then we're just sitting there I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm kind of done with you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? There's only so much time you can spend silent with someone in a car.
And we had a lot of music and sing-alongs, but
absolutely.
that also only lasts so long.
I was surprised by how well both of us could sing I Will Always Love You. We really nailed it, I think.
Was it good?
Yeah.
She's so funny. Phoebe Robinson's hilarious.
Hilarious.
And I've got here, I'm not very far yet, so funny. It's so great. You can't touch your hair, so please don't ask.
First I'm going to talk about this because this is the book that I already started, and this is the beginning of my December TBR. Heroes Die, a fantasy novel by Matthew Woodring Stover, and has a genuinely awful cover.
It's a very bad cover.
This is my husband's favorite series of books. It's a fantasy series, and so I told him I would read the first one. He doesn't read a lot, so a lot of people don't read a lot.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's something that he really enjoys and wanted to read, I'm interested. There's piece 1, and then the rest of it, it's kind of falling apart. I know it's perfectly good, it's a perfectly good book, but this was $6. And I would just rather my book look like this. It's the exact same thing.
I like used books, I do, but there's a point where something's very used.
And it's
I'm sorry.
I sneeze looking at this book too.
I think that was honestly what it is.
Anyway, I was I'll read it, but I'm not going to read this copy. Just to tell you a little bit about the book. It's about an actor in a world where people enter some sort of alternate reality and act out real characters in some other society. Because when an actor does actions in that world... Oh, that's my bookmark. No. When an actor acts out a role in this other weird society thing, I'll just leave it, that's fine. They have the trace of the emotions and the feelings, so other people, viewers, can plug in and live the story through their eyes. Oh. It's from the point of view of an actor who's plays an assassin, and he goes around killing people, and then each assassination other people can plug in and pretend they're him and assassinate people. It's very violent. It's hyper violent.
You should give Mark a nice light fluffy read after this series.
I know. Well,
be Mark, calm down a little
He's still reading the series. He's doing a reread, so I'm reading. He's about to start the 3rd book, so I'm starting the first one. The second one is 700 pages long. I mean, I love him, but
not 700 pages.
I don't know if 700 pages love him.
I want to read Sovereign by April Daniels. It's the 2nd book in the Dreadnought series, which I have over there. And I talked about Dreadnought a little bit, about the trans girl superhero.
Yes, that sounded great. Actually, after you talked about that last time, I think a couple of people mentioned to me that they wanted to read it.
Oh, good. Because it's great, and I'm really excited for the sequel. And I'm super pumped to see what happens to Danielle and all the other characters whose names I can't remember. Dreadnought is about a trans girl named Danny, who's kind of in the closet. In this world, superheroes exist, and one day she's painting her nails secretly behind a building when Dreadnought, a very famous superhero, falls to his death. But before he dies, he gives Danny the thing that makes him Dreadnought. So then Danny becomes the new Dreadnought and also gets the body of a girl, which she has always wanted.
Superpowers have always been like a great metaphor for coming of age, and to use it in that sense, really cool. The rest of my December is some rereads. I'm going to reread his Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, which were some of my very favorite books as like 10-year-old? I don't know. And then I reread them some point in high school, and then I haven't read them since. I hesitate to say there's religious allegory, but I think there's more like commentary on religion. Philip Pullman is an atheist.
Yeah.
And it definitely comes across. I am of the opinion that that is part of why the film didn't do that well. I mean, it was already a questionable film, but it was fun, and it like bombed, and it was because articles started popping up about Philip Pullman being an atheist.
It's frustrating because, like, I'll read things that have religion in them.
Yeah.
And, like, not be mad.
It's just, he has some opinions and it comes across in his writing, kind of like in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe or something like that, where it's like, it references stuff that's important to the author.
Yeah, a part of their life.
Yeah.
You know?
So I put all of these on my TBR.
You'll probably read one, maybe.
I'll read at least one, we'll see. But I've got all three.
The next three are Christmas reads. The first one I got from the Book Barn. I heard about it, and I heard it was Christmassy, and it was like a year ago. And I was like, you know what? I want to try to read a Christmas book around Christmas. Yeah. And it's called Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, which is kind of like a popular book. I think a lot of people know about it.
I think I've actually heard of this.
I think the author of Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Oh.
So it's kind of
the title is reminiscent of that.
It is. Lily has left a red notebook full of challenges on a favorite bookstore shelf, waiting for just the right guy to come along and accept its dares. Why a guy? Why can't a girl come? But is Dash that right guy? These next two I found at the dollar store. Lost Christmas by David Logan. It's by a dude. I'm not really reading books written by dudes right now, so we'll see if I even... This will be like my last one.
That'll be like last resort Christmas read.
10-year-old Goose is lost. It's Christmas. His parents are dead. He's turned to petty thievery. This sounds really fun.
So fun.
Kind of Christmassy.
Goose like from Top Gun?
Oh my god.
What if this is like the origin story?
This is the origin story. Alright, I'm gonna read Lost Christmas. It's
the
origin story.
Is the,
of Goose from Top Gun. And then I'll watch Top Gun.
Oh, it'll be perfect.
Oh, this is gonna be really good.
I bet that's gonna add a whole dimension that book probably doesn't have.
I recommend reading Lost Christmas and imagining the origin story of Goose from Top Gun.
Yeah. The next one I'm gonna read is another reread. 5th Season by N.K. Jemisin. I read her trilogy, the Inheritance trilogy.
Yeah, I want to read the series.
The
third one came out recently.
Yeah, so I've read this one. I want to reread and, start the whole series. So I don't know if we'll get to all that in December, probably not.
They're long books.
This won a Hugo Award for Best Novel in 2016, and she's just already finished the trilogy. This woman just pumps out gold. It has boats in it, and I really like boats. Alright, what's your last book?
Doesn't it look delightful?
I saw this book in your pile. This looks like the stupidest.
I picked this up recently, even.
Right.
It's called Christmas Keepsakes by Donna Van Leer. It is 2 books in one.
It's like when you buy those shitty movies where you buy a $2 DVD and it has 6 movies on it.
Yeah, it's like all the Nightmare Before Christmas. No, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, all 8 Nightmare Before Christmas films. It was $1, and it's a Christmas book. And the first one's called The Christmas Shoes.
Okay, I've heard of The Christmas Shoes.
8-year-old Nathan is losing his beloved mother to cancer.
See, that's the thing about these, generic feel-good Christmas stories.
Why are they so depressing?
Is, they start with something depressing.
Like a Pixar film.
Yeah.
You think a sequel?
What?
The second one's called The Christmas Blessing. Nathan is now a medical student in his 3rd year. He still has things to be learned about faith, blessings, and sacrifice. This might not be for me, guys. We'll find out.
I don't know why you looked at that book and thought it was going to be.
I'm just going to get kind of drunk and read it. I don't really drunk read very often. So this might be good. I want to fall in love. I'm sure you will, I said. She looked at me and squeezed my hand. I'm sure I already have.
I don't know, that's Well, you wanted to read it.
Look, I got some good ones in here. Those will be good. The Christmas Shoes. Jesus Christ.
I don't know why you do the things you do.
No one does.
So that's going to be hopefully our December. Let us know what you're reading.
Yeah. Do you have any good Christmas reads? Because we
yeah.
suck at this. I
Look
clearly
at our Christmas
I
reads.
don't know how to pick out Christmas books.
A fantasy about an assassin,
Nice.
a fantasy about boats, and maybe's Dark Materials.
I'm reading about shoes and cancer.
Oh, great. Happy December, book 2.
Mm-hmm.